World's worst airport.
Ang hirap na pinagdadaanan ng mga commuter.
Ang sira-sirang mga paaralan.
The passion for a first world Philippines runs in our veins, not drawn by duty, but by the choice to make our nation our priority. Sa isip, sa salita, at sa gawa. We dream of a country built by engineering innovation, with infrastructure we proudly call Filipino. Not copies of what we see, but expressions of our innate spirit. When the world said we had the worst airport, we gave them its best airports. Mactan Cebu International Airport and Clark International Airport. When public commute was in chaos, we created the first land port, Parañaque Integrated Terminal Exchange. When the classroom backlog was overwhelming, we built 10,000 classrooms in 2 years for the DepEd School Infrastructure Project. And when Cebu's 100-year-old carbon market needed a revival, we renewed its bare bones for a new lease on life. This is our passion, the future of the Philippines. We build it with our hands, nurtured through time and attention. It's not just a job, it's our calling, and it runs in our veins.
Good afternoon and welcome to the 2025 Annual Stockholders Meeting or ASM of Megawide Construction Corporation. If you look at the right side of your screen, there is a chat box. Please state therein if you can clearly hear and see us or if you have any difficulties. Feel free to type in the chat box any comments or questions you may have. We will address these during the question and answer portion of this ASM. We would also like to announce that Megawide's 2024 Annual Sustainability Report is now available online and may be accessed through a QR code flashed on your screen. Now, we begin by introducing our Board of Directors and Corporate Secretary. First is Megawide's Chairman of the Board of Directors, Mr. Edgar B. Saavedra.
I'm Edgar Saavedra, Chairman of the Board of Directors, Chief Executive Officer, and President of Megawide. I'm currently at the Megawide office in San Juan, joining this ASM using our video conferencing equipment. I have received the notice, agenda, and all the materials for this ASM. I also confirm that I can clearly hear and see all the other attendees.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Next is Megawide's Vice Chairman of the Board of Directors, Mr. Manuel Louis B. Ferrer.
I am Manuel Louis B. Ferrer, Vice Chairman of the Board of Directors and Executive Director for Infrastructure Development of Megawide. I am currently at the Megawide office in San Juan City, joining this ASM using our video conferencing equipment. I have received the notice, agenda, and all the materials for this ASM. I also confirm that I can clearly hear and see all the other attendees.
Thank you, sir. May I introduce one of Megawide's directors, Mr. Ramon H. Diaz.
I am Ramon H. Diaz, Director of Megawide. I am currently at the Megawide office in San Juan City, joining this ASM using our video conferencing equipment. I have received the notice, agenda, and all the materials for this ASM. I also confirm that I can clearly hear and see all the other attendees. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. May I now introduce Megawide's Independent Director, retired Chief Justice Hilario G. Davide Jr.
I am Hilario Davide Jr., an independent director at Megawide. I am now at the Megawide office in San Juan City, joining the ASM using our video conferencing equipment. I have received the notice, the agenda, and all the materials for this ASM. I also confirm that I can clearly hear and see all the other attendees.
Thank you, sir. May I introduce Megawide's Independent Director, Mr. Celso P. Vivas.
Good afternoon. I'm Celso Vivas, Independent Director of Megawide. I am currently at the Megawide office in San Juan City, joining this ASM using our video conferencing equipment. I have received the notice, agenda, and all the materials for this ASM. I also confirm that I can clearly hear and see all the other attendees.
Thank you, sir. May I introduce Megawide's Independent Director, Mrs. Nina Perpetua D. Aguas.
Good afternoon. I'm Nina Perpetua D. Aguas, Independent Director of Megawide. I'm currently at my office in Engineer Lai, Palabang, and I'm attending this annual stockholders meeting through video conferencing using my personal iPad. I confirm that I received the notice, the agenda, and all relevant materials for this meeting. I further confirm that I can clearly see and hear all the other participants.
Finally, we introduce Megawide's Corporate Secretary, Attorney Melissa Esther E. Chavez D.
I am Melissa Esther E. Chavez D., Corporate Secretary of Megawide. I'm currently at Megawide's office in San Juan City, joining this ASM using our video conferencing equipment. I sent the notice, agenda, and all the materials for this ASM. I also confirm that I can clearly hear and see all the other attendees.
We also acknowledge the presence of the representatives from PwC Philippines, Isla Lipana & Co., Megawide's external auditor, and Megawide's nominee for Independent Director, Mr. Alfredo E. Pascual. Let us start with the Philippine National Anthem. Please stand.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas. Kayang magiging, kailas ang sinakalan, alam ng puso, sa titik mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, tuyag ka ng magiting, sa manlulupin, di ka pasisigil, sa nagagang tutok sa simoy at sa langit mong pagaw, ay hinatang tulad, awit sa pagkayang minamahal, ang isang ng matawad mo'y tagumpay na nag-iindig, ang bituin at araw niya kailan pang ay di magtitingin, luman ang araw ng walang pagsinta, buhay langit sa piling mo, ang inigaya ng barkay mga api, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Let us proceed with the prayer.
Almighty Father, we thank you for the gift each day to be with our Megawide family. For this is an opportunity to help improve the lives of our fellow Filipinos through our work in engineering and infrastructure. Humble our hearts as we start our work for the day. Allow us to handle each challenge, guided by our shared values of malasakit, integrity, teamwork, community, innovation, and excellence. Continue to provide strength and guidance in every project we do. We pray that our facilities remain safe, and that our products meet world-class standards. for the benefit of our country and our countrymen. We commit and offer to you our mission, that we will be an integral instrument in reshaping this country to become a first world Philippines. May it be your will to grant us more opportunities as we offer you the praise of work well done. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen.
Thank you. We now call our chairman, Mr. Saavedra, to begin our 2025 annual stockholders meeting.
Good afternoon. I hereby call to order this 2025 annual stockholders meeting of Megawide Construction Corporation. Thank you for joining us today. Now, please refer to the screen for the agenda of this meeting. I now call on our corporate secretary to certify that the notice and agenda for this ASM were sent to the stockholders and that a quorum exists to conduct this meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I certify that the notice and agenda for this ASM were sent to the stockholders of record as of June 11, 2025. To give you more details, the notice was immediately disclosed to the Philippine Stock Exchange, Inc. on May 26, 2025, upon its approval by the Board of Directors on the same date, and released in the PSE Edge as a circular on May 27, 2025. The notice and agenda were published both in print and online editions of the Daily Tribune and Manila Standard on June 10 and 11, 2025. Additionally, Megawide's annual report and information statement are available in the PSE Edge and Megawide's website. The information statement and Megawide's website also contain the instructions on how the stockholders may vote, submit their proxies, and participate in the ASM. All these were completed in compliance with the requirements of Megawide's bylaws, the revised corporation code, and the issuances of the Securities and Exchange Commission. Mr. Chairman, I also certify that a quorum is present for the conduct of this meeting as stockholders representing 68 600% of the outstanding capital stock of Megawide, equivalent to 1,372,404,832 shares are participating in person, in absentia, or by proxy.
Ms. Secretary, can you discuss the voting procedure for this meeting?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, the voting procedure for this ASM is as follows. All the stockholders of record at the close of business on June 11, 2025 were entitled to notice and to vote in this meeting. The number of votes required for the election of a director of the company is the affirmative vote of stockholders owning at least a majority of the outstanding capital stock of the company. The number of votes required for the approval of the increase of authorized capital stock and the amendment of Article 7 of the amended Articles of Incorporation of the company is the affirmative vote of stockholders owning at least 2/3 of the outstanding capital stock of the company. The vote required for all other questions, except in cases otherwise provided by the company, is the vote of at least a majority of the outstanding capital stock. The stockholders were given the opportunity to vote in absentia from June 11 to June 26, 2025, through an online voting portal prepared by Megawide. Only the stockholders who were validated by Megawide's stock transfer agent were allowed to vote in absentia. The stockholders were also permitted to submit proxy forms during the same period through electronic mail and personal service. Each of the votes cast in absentia and by proxy shall be considered cast for all the shares of such stockholder. Megawide's stock transfer agent tabulated the votes cast in absentia and by proxy, which were then confirmed by Megawide's external auditor.
We shall now go to the chairman's address and president's report.
Megawide made significant progress in 2024 toward realizing our vision of a first world Philippines. We delivered within our expectations and recorded an upturn across all business segments. Our consolidated revenues grew 18% to 22.1 billion. EBITDA rose 68% to 4.7 billion, while net income amounted to 538 million, double the previous year. For construction, we achieved a 16% revenue growth to 21 billion pesos. To sustain our pipeline, we secured 17.2 billion pesos worth of new contracts to provide a broader base and more balanced order book, which stood at 43.5 billion pesos. Our property development arm recorded 770 million in revenues and have launched 5 new projects to complement the existing 5. Take-up reached 11.8 billion pesos as of 2024, which ensure healthy revenue streams for the next 2 to 3 years. We also welcome our maiden entry in the government's 4PH program or the Pambansang Pabahay para sa Pilipino through our Avesta project in Imus, Cavite. This will help the governments address the national housing crisis. PITX delivered revenues of 355 million pesos and served an average of 141,000 passengers daily during the year. Commercial occupancy reached 98% with a mix of existing and new tenants. Office occupancy improved to 60% by the year end as we shifted to more stable, long-term clients in light of the total ban on POGOs. Incidentally, our full divestment in the airport business was completed after the second and final closing transaction last October 31. Meanwhile, our financial management program is in progress, anchored on our delevering strategy. We are in the process of closing out our intercompany balances, which will be used to offload portion of our short-term debt. This will immediately reduce interest payments and boost our profitability. Follow-on initiatives are in the works to ensure our financial health in the coming years. Our commitment to sustainability remains unwavering. Anchored on long-term carbon emission targets, we have strengthened data-driven ESG reporting and aligned our efforts with the UN SDGs. Through the Megawide Foundation, we continue to drive impact in education, disaster relief, and environmental care to anchor our CSR agenda. We sustain the Barkada ni Pit initiative at PITX to promote road safety and well-being among our bus driver stakeholders. In Cebu, we launched the Paleng QR payment system and opened the Learning Hub and Playroom at Carbon Market to strengthen the Children Values Formation program of the community. This engagement aimed to ensure the environmental, economic, and social sustainability of our stakeholders. Moving forward, we will pursue direct yet impactful strategies per business. For construction, we plan to balance and stabilize the order book and expand our precast revenue base. For real estate, we will actively participate in the government's 4PH program, utilizing our advantage in precast and expertise in engineering and construction to unlock fresh and more sustainable value streams. In addition to Imus project, we broke ground for 4 additional sites in Cavite, 2 in Dasmariñas and 2 in Bacoor. For Landport, We want to connect more people and accommodate more tenants at PTEX. Through our TCDs, we intend to make deeper inroads in public transportation to further increase connectivity and improve mobility across the country. Our Cavite BRT system, once completed, is expected to serve 10,000 commuters daily from key cities in Cavite while connecting to Metro Manila via PITX. We are also progressing for a TCD project in Carmona, Cavite, and look forward to ground break by the second half of the year. Overall, we intend to harness synergies within the group to accelerate and maximize shareholders' value creation. For 27 years, Megawide has thrived under changing economic cycles and shifting policy directions. Agility is key, but must always be attuned to our mission and vision. We will embrace a strategic yet opportunistic roadmap, identifying emerging areas within our core competencies to support our growth trajectory. The ever-evolving business landscape warrants adaptability and focus. Megawide will continue to count on its employees, shareholders, and key stakeholders to sustain our upturn. We are embarking on a new chapter, but our commitment to a first world Philippines remains unchanged. We appreciate your continued trust and support as we build a stronger, more sustainable future together.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Let us proceed with the next agenda item.
The next item on the agenda is the election of directors.
Mr. Chairman, the following persons have been nominated for election as members of the Board of Directors of Megawide to hold office until the next annual stockholders meeting and until their respective successors have been elected and qualified. Mr. Edgar P. Saavedra as an Executive Director, Mr. Manuel Louis B. Ferrer as an Executive Director, Mr. Ramon H. Diaz as a Non-Executive Director, Mr. Oliver Y. Tan as a Non-Executive Director, Mr. Celso P. Vivas as an Independent Director, Mrs. Nina Perpetua T. Aguas as an Independent Director, Mr. Alfredo E. Pascual as an Independent Director. The foregoing list includes 3 nominees found to be qualified for election as independent directors in compliance with the requirements of the relevant laws, rules, and regulations for publicly listed companies.
Mr. Chairman, I am Mike Diaz-Dion, proxy for stockholder Ms. Zina B. I move that the 7 nominees be deemed elected as directors for the ensuing year.
Mr. Chairman, I am April Joy A. Abellano, proxy for Eternum Holdings Inc., and I second the motion.
There is a motion duly made and seconded for the election of the nominees mentioned as the members of the Board of Directors. Ms. Secretary, please tell us the vote's result on this matter.
Mr. Chairman, the results of the election of the members of the Board of Directors are being flashed on the screen. All of the stockholders who are present or are represented in this meeting have approved the election of the 7 nominees as members of the Board of Directors for the ensuing year, to hold office until the next annual stockholders meeting and until their respective successors have been elected and qualified.
The motion is passed. The elected members of the Board of Directors for 2025 are shown on the screen. Next item on the agenda is the approval of the company's audited financial statements for the year ended December 31, 2024. I understand that the audited financial statements have been distributed with the annual report, information statement, disclosed in the PSE Edge, and posted in the Megawide's website.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, I am Brian J. Vincent Tigo, proxy for City for Holdings Investment. I move that Megawide's financial statements for the year ended December 31st, 2024, audited by PwC Philippines, Easton Lipana & Co. be approved.
Mr. Chairman, I am Pia Pauline P. Megawide, proxy for Megacore Holdings, and I second the motion.
There is a motion duly made and seconded for the approval of the audited financial statements of Megawide for the year ended December 31, 2024. Ms. Secretary, may we know the voting results on this matter?
Mr. Chairman, based on the votes cast, all of the stockholders who are present or are represented in this meeting are in approval of this agenda item. There were no votes against or abstentions.
Motion is approved. Next item on the agenda is the appointment of the external auditor of the company. Upon the recommendation of Megawide's Audit and Compliance Committee, the Board of Directors proposed that PwC, Philippines, Isla, Lipana and Company be appointed as the external auditor.
Mr. Chairman, I am Philip Don Girisentes, proxy for Shirley B. Alabado. I move to appoint PwC Philippines, Isla Lipana and Co. as the external auditor of Megawide.
Mr. Chairman, I am Anne Casillas Dion, proxy for stockholder Ms. Zina B. I second the motion.
There is a motion duly made and seconded for the appointment of PwC as the external auditor of Megawide. Ms. Secretary, may we know the voting results on this matter?
Mr. Chairman, based on the votes cast, all of the stockholders who are present or are represented in this meeting have approved this agenda item. There were no votes against or abstentions.
Motion is approved. Let us now proceed with approval of the minutes of the special stockholders meeting held on March 27, 2025. I understand that the copies of such minutes have been distributed and posted in Megawide's website.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, I am April Joy A. Abellano, proxy for Eternum Holdings, Inc. I move to dispense with the reading of the minutes of the special stockholders meeting held on March 27, 2025, and move to approve the minutes as presented.
Mr. Chairman, I am Brian J. Vincent Legal, proxy for Citicorp Holdings Investment, and I second the motion.
There is a motion duly made and seconded that the minutes of the March 27, 2025 special stockholders meeting be approved. Ms. Secretary, may we know the voting results on this matter?
Mr. Chairman, based on the votes cast, all of the shares present or represented in this meeting are in favor of approving the motion. There were no votes against or abstention.
Considering that all of the votes were made for the approval of this agenda item, motion is approved. Let us now proceed with the approval of the amendment of Article 7 of the Articles of Incorporation to increase the authorized capital stock for preferred shares.
Mr. Chairman, the proposed amendment of Article 7 of Megawide's Articles of Incorporation for preferred shares pertains to the increase in Megawide's authorized capital stock by 40 million pesos. The proposed amendment will result in an increase in Megawide's authorized capital stock from 5,180,000,000 pesos divided into 4,930,000,000 common shares with a par value of 1 peso per share and 250 million cumulative non-voting, non-participating, non-convertible perpetual preferred shares with a par value of 1 peso per share to 5,220,000,000 pesos divided into 4,930,000,000 common shares with a par value of 1 peso per share and 290 million cumulative non-voting, non-participating, non-convertible perpetual preferred shares with a value of 1 peso per share. The minimum subscription for the increase in authorized capital stock shall be paid through cash. The amendment to Article 7 of Megawide's Articles of Incorporation is being flashed on the screen.
Mr. Chairman, I am Pia Pauline P. Megawide, proxy for Megacore Holdings. I move to approve the amendment of the company's Article 7 of the Articles of Incorporation to increase the authorized capital stock for preferred shares as word.
Mr. Chairman, I am Philip Don G. Resentes, proxy for Shirley B. Alabado. I second the motion.
There is a motion duly made and seconded that the amendment of the company's Article 7 of the Articles of Incorporation to increase the authorized capital stock for preferred shares to be approved. Ms. Secretary, may we know the voting results on this matter?
Mr. Chairman, based on the votes cast, all of the shares present or represented in this meeting are in favor of approving the motion. There were no votes against or abstentions.
Since all votes cast, representing more than two-thirds of the outstanding capital stock, were in favor of amending Article 7 of the company's Articles of Incorporation to increase the authorized capital stock for the preferred shares, the motion is hereby approved. We now move to the next item on the agenda, the approval of the offer, sale, and listing of additional preferred shares.
The company intends to issue up to 30 million preferred shares as Series 7 preferred shares and offer and sell up the same at 100 pesos per share by way of public offering or private placement transaction, as may be determined by the Board of Directors, consisting of 3 sub-series from the unissued portion of its authorized capital stock for preferred shares and from the increase in its authorized capital stock for which the stockholders' approval is being sought. The terms and conditions of the issuance of preferred shares pursuant to the increase in authorized capital stock will be determined by the company at a later date. The company expects to receive at least the par value of the preferred shares to be issued out of the increase in authorized capital stock in cash. The stockholders' resolution in relation to this matter is being shown on the screen.
Mr. Chairman, I am Ann Marquez Angestion, proxy for stockholder Zina B. Opak. I move to approve the offer, sale, and listing of additional preferred shares.
Mr. Chairman, I am April Joy A. Abellano, proxy for Eternum Holdings Inc., and I second the motion.
There is a motion duly made and seconded for the approval of offer, sale, and listing of additional preferred shares. Ms. Secretary, please tell us the votes results on this matter.
Mr. Chairman, based on the votes cast, 68 and 0.10% of the shares present or represented in this meeting, equivalent to 1,371,152,862 shares, are in favor of approving the motion. Meanwhile, 600% of the shares present or represented in this meeting, or 1,251,970 shares, voted against the motion. There were no abstentions.
Considering that majority of the votes cast are in favor of this agenda item, the motion is approved. Next agenda is the ratification of all acts of Board of Directors and Management.
Mr. Chairman, I am Brian J. Vincent Ligo, proxy for Citicorp Holdings Investment Inc. I move that all acts of the Board of Directors and Management be ratified.
Mr. Chairman, I am Tia Pauline P. Megawide, proxy for Megacore Holdings, and I second the motion.
There is a motion duly made and seconded for the ratification of all acts of Board of Directors and Management. Ms. Secretary, may we know the voting results on this matter?
Mr. Chairman, based on the votes cast, all of the stockholders who are present or are represented in this meeting have approved this agenda item.
The motion is approved. Are there other matters to take up?
At this point, we want to take a moment to recognize the movements in our Board of Directors. As a former Chief Justice of the Supreme Court and Philippine Ambassador of the United Nations, retired Chief Justice Hilario Davide Jr., brought with us a profound commitment to integrity, public service, and nation building. Throughout his tenure, Chief Justice Davide played a pivotal role in strengthening Megawide's corporate governance framework. His insights and principled leadership helped guide the company through complex regulatory landscapes and evolving market challenges. He consistently advocated for transparency, ethical conduct, and responsible business practices, values that continue to define Megawide today. Chief Justice Davide, we extend our deepest gratitude for your invaluable contributions, unwavering guidance, and steadfast belief in our vision to engineer a first world Philippines. It has been an honor to have your voice on our board, and we wish you continued success in all your future endeavors. Let us now move to our question and answer portion. To our audience, please enter your questions in the chat box on the right side of your screens. Questions will be entertained on a first-come, first-served basis. For good order, please state your name and affiliation. We request everyone to limit your questions to one main question and one follow-up question. Thank you. We received the following questions from our stockholders prior to the ASM. First, what will be the use of proceeds of the new preferred shares to be issued?
Okay, I will ask our CFO, Mr. Jess De La Cruz, to answer this question.
Good afternoon, everyone. For the preferred shares, the company is looking to raise up to 3 billion pesos with a listing date target of about fourth quarter of 2025. In terms of the use of proceeds, about half of the proceeds will be used to refinance requirements of the company, and the balance will be allocated to fund business development initiatives as well as general corporate purposes. Covering these plans also includes a 2026 requirement, so Megawide will not be going back to the capital markets next year.
Thank you, sir. Second question is, we read about Megawide's entry into the 4PH program of the government. This is another patriotic initiative of the company. Can you tell us more about this endeavor?
Okay, basically the 4PH is the Pabahay Pambansa para sa Pilipino. This is a housing program of BBM to serve the Filipino peoples, meaning they will be providing affordable houses, particularly for government employees such as teachers, policemen, and LGU employees. And for Megawide, the company, we were approached by DSUD and then asked our help if we can support. Now we look at it and we think that this project can be viable. So we will enter or participate in these projects because we see the impact it can generate to the company by giving high order book to the construction and our precast production. So yes, to answer the question is we will participate and we will expect to do significant projects for this 4PH.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Your order book has been below 50 billion pesos for the last 2 years. What is your ideal level of order book to remain profitable? How much and what projects are you looking to bid for?
Okay, right now, to be honest, our order book or our backlog is a bit low. We're at 20 billion pesos. Now, we are expecting a 10 billion worth of projects to be awarded probably within the month. And then I'm expecting for another 20 in the next another 10, sorry, 10 plus 10 in the next 2 months again. So we expect by year end, the order book will go back to all-time high again from 20 billion backlog. We expect it to go by 40 to 50 billion by year end.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Can you give us an update on the progress of the subway and MCRP projects? When do you expect to complete this?
I think this is a $1 million question. So I guess the completion is heavily dependent primarily on the right of way. So it's beyond the control of any contractors on the subway and the MCRP projects. So for as long as if the government cannot address the right of way issue, I don't think that the whole projects can be completed. So far I cannot answer it right now. I'd rather let the government, Department of Transportation, to answer that, because a lot of the dependencies of the completion of the projects are related to the right of way issues.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I live in the Cavite area, and is it true that you are doing a mini PITX in Carmona? Can you give us an update on this as well as your Cavite BRT project?
Okay. In Cavite, we're going to put up a small BRT project. What does this mean? Meaning there will be buses flying from Cavite all the way to PITX, meaning on a dedicated lane. What does that mean? Dedicated lane. That means you will have no traffic because the lane is dedicated for the buses. So we're going to start by year end this Cavite BRT. So we may start few buses until we can increase the traffic, and then we're gonna add more buses for this. Now in Carmona, this is like a mini bus terminal. Now we hope we can fully close the contract in terms of the concession agreement with the LGU, and then eventually we can have another bus terminal in the area for Carmona.
Thank you, sir. Last question. We are very happy to see the ongoing developments at the Carbon Market, like the new public market and the Puso Village. Do you have a timeline for this?
Yes, thank you for the question. Since the new administration has just taken office, we are in the process of discussing the details, the movement details, and other matters, but we have scheduled October of 2026 for the opening of the new public market building. For the first commercial development, we are on schedule in our soft opening of Puso on July 15, with main launch in September of this year.
Thank you, sir.
Are there further questions or matters to be raised?
Mr. Chairman, I am Philip Don G. Resentes, proxy for Shirley B. Alabado. I move that the meeting be adjourned.
Mr. Chairman, I am Anwadris D. Espion, proxy for stockholder Mrs. Nia B. Ocam. I second the motion.
Thank you. The ASM is hereby adjourned.
That concludes the Megawide's 2025 Annual Stockholders Meeting. Thank you, everyone, and enjoy the rest of the afternoon.
World's worst airport.
Ang hirap na pinagdadaanan ng mga commuter. Ang sira-sirang mga paaralan.
The passion for a first world Philippines runs in our veins, not drawn by duty, but by the choice to make our nation our priority. Sa isip, sa salita, at sa gawa. We dream of a country built by engineering innovation with infrastructure we proudly call Filipino. Not copies of what we see, but expressions of our innate spirit. When the world said we had the worst airport, we gave them its best airports.
Mactan Cebu International Airport
and Clark International Airport.
When public commute was in chaos,
we created the first land port, Parañaque Integrated Terminal Exchange. When the classroom backlog was overwhelming, we built 10,000 classrooms in 2 years for the DepEd School Infrastructure Project.
And when Cebu's 100-year-old carbon market needed a revival,
we renewed its bare bones for a new lease on life. This is our passion, the future of the Philippines. We build it with our hands, nurtured through time and attention. It's not just a job, it's our calling, and it runs in our veins.